Ahoy! My engine died. 35 miles offshore in the North Sea. Basically, if you're new here, I set off from Portland. I'm going clockwise around the UK, getting back to Portland, and you join me in Newcastle, or leaving Newcastle, with the intention of heading somewhere south. Probably to Lowestoft, something like that. This was the intended route, and this is what actually happened. As you can notice, there is one extra right-hand turn in there, which wasn't exactly planned, but yeah, I set off in good spirits, didn't get ashore in good spirits. We'll see how that went. Enjoy the video. Alright, I'm leaving Newcastle. I got a bit busy and forgot to film anything. I've just stopped at the fuel dock. There's a big ferry. And they're heading out down the Tyne and doing stuff. I don't know where I'm going. I'll catch up with you in a bit. Alright, we're out into the Tyne. Somewhere hiding along this coastline. It's Paul. He just sent me a picture of me. I'm like, hey, where are you? I don't know where he is. I might see him again. I've got the sail up. I've got my RWA examiner's cone on, just because I'm going through a VTS area, so it's no harm sticking it up there, is it? Yeah, beautiful stay in Newcastle. Difficult to leave, especially with Sharon baking me cakes all the time. A great company, it's a great place. But yeah, we're out of here. Where am I going? I don't actually know. I'm just going to go out of here and turn right and see where I get to before I'm exhausted. So I could go to Filey and Anchor, I could go to Grimsby, I could go to Wells Next to the Sea, Lowestoft, Ramsgate, I could just go all the way to Hasler. 4-day non-stop trip, anybody? You'll already know from the title whether I did that or not. I haven't got a clue. I don't know where I'm getting to, so yeah. Right, I'll just carry on doing driving and stuff. I didn't call VTS on the way out. I poked my nose out, saw nothing in the channel coming out, so it's only a requirement for vessels over 12 metres. I'm monitoring the channel, it'll be fine. Yeah. Oh, I put my second reef in. Just because I'm using the sail for stability. May as well just have 2 reefs in. I can leave it all through the night and everything then, and it'll be fine in case the wind builds up. Right, less waffling from me and more driving. Radio, here we go. Back into the North Sea. This is the south pierhead thing. Breakwater, North Breakwater, North Sea. A very different North Sea to the one in which I arrived. This one appears to be flat calm. Bit of a breeze. I think it might end up right on the nose though, but we shall see. I'm just going to get out around the back of this little fishing boat. There's some little either naval or border force vessels playing around out here. There was one in the lock that I should have filmed and I didn't because I'm an idiot. Yeah, so I'll do that. Point to where I want to go, see if I've got the wind. I think it's entirely likely that I'm creating a lot of my own wind. I am full of hot air. And head south. See where we get to. See where the utter exhaustion kicks in. And then I make a silly mistake and we all drown. Or something like that. Ahoy there! It's been 5 or 6 hours since I last spoke to you. Nothing to report. It's pretty benign out here. The sun is going to be down in the next hour or two. Glorious really, bit of swell, but it's sort of 30 degrees off the bow, which is ideal. I'm just trying to stay out of the wind. What little wind there is, I don't know if you can see the hawk up there. It's practically on the nose. I've got the main up with 2 reefs just for some stability and because I want the main up. 2 reefs in because as I get further south the wind will increase. I don't want to get caught out overnight, so I'll leave it with 2 in. It's not doing much anyway, so yeah, all good. Gonna start getting into my 20-minute sleep routine shortly. 20-minute naps, 10 minutes on deck, rinse and repeat. But yeah, I've seen a couple of sailing boats. There's a few big ships here and there. That's a massive ferry, I think. But yeah, touch wood. No pots for the last 4 hours, which is good. That's my biggest worry, is motoring during the night when there are pots. I prefer to be sailing, and then I can fold the prop and make them more slippy. And if I do hit a pot, because you can't be on the helm all the time, it's impossible. So if you do hit a pot, have it slide off the hull instead of get caught around the prop. But you know, if we get to a stage where there's a lot of pots, I'll just have to stay up on the helm and raw dog it. So yeah, not been filming anything, nothing's been happening. See you in a bit. Actually, while I'm here, I thought I'd just speak to you about routing. I could actually come 10 or 15 degrees to the west and probably fill the sails maybe, or get some more drive out of them, get the headsail up. I'd be as tight to the wind as I could. But what I don't want to do is end up too far west, for the simple reason, as I get further south, the wind is going to come from the east. So if I go too far west, I'm going to struggle to make east later, and the winds will be stronger. So I'd be motoring into a head sea and headwinds that are stronger than this. So it's better to sort of run the engine, sacrifice some sailing time, but make the east now, than have to fight against it to make the east later, if that makes sense. It makes sense in my head. Whether that's the right decision or not, we'll find out, won't we? But yeah, that's what I'm doing. Also, I said that I've not seen pots in ages. Pot over there. I had to jinx it, didn't I? So yeah, I'll be on more of a pot watch. Glorious. Let's hope it remains like this. The part of me just wants to do a 4-dayer to Hasler, because the weather for it is perfect. Once I get to about 9 AM tomorrow, I should be able to sail then all the way, if the forecast stays the same, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'll stop waffling. I'll probably speak to you at sunset or after. Okay, the sun has all but disappeared. Beautiful sunset. I'm actually going to sleep in the cockpit. I'll set up a little, you'll not see it, but thing so I can strap myself to that side of the boat in case I get knocked out of off the seat bit. Got my knife in my pocket in case I get knocked overboard and get stuck to the side of the boat. And yeah, set the timer on my phone. There's nothing on the horizon at the minute of any interest, so I'm just going to snooze if I can. If I can't, I'm just going to try and get into the routine of relaxing for 20 minutes, then look in and blah blah blah. So yeah, there may not be any more footage until morning, I don't know, let's see what happens. Can you see me? We're partway through the night now. Not late, it's only about 10 PM, something like that. It's a full moon. What's quite cool is it breaks through the clouds far away and reflects off the water, and it looks like this eerie moonlight on the water far away, but it's still dark here. It's about to break through now actually. We're going to move into that. pretty bloody cool. Anywho, yeah, I'm sleeping in the cockpit because it's enough swell to make it. Let me get some light. Let me shed some light on this situation. Where did I just put my torch? Oh, there. Yeah, I've got my sleeping bag. I'll just lay here with my other spare sleeping bag as a bit of a backrest. My head up against there, and just sleeping here. It's quite a mild night. It's just easier than coming in and out of the companionway every 20 minutes. Yeah, quite pleasant actually. I've not actually managed to get to sleep yet, but it's still only early. I was up last night until maybe 3 or 4 a.m. Anxious about this trip, so yeah, that's okay now. I suppose I'll just carry on doing stuff, have another good look around, and then go back for my 20 minutes. Yeah, it's going alright so far. Don't want to jinx it, not jinxing it, touching wood. Touched. There isn't a hope in hell that this little bit of video will do it any kind of justice whatsoever. Excuse me, I've got hiccups. Of just what this evening is like. But the wind's dropped right off. Still a bit of swell, but the moon is utterly incredible. I'm supposed to be getting some sleep, but I've just been sitting here looking at moon for ages. I have had some little cat naps. It's only something past 10. Yeah, stunning. I'm going to go and hide and have another little cat nap. Ooh, that was a big one. Oh, these are a few big ones coming through. As he says, it completely dissipates. Anyway, they're about 30 degrees off the bow, which is just about where you want them really, so touch wood, it's going alright. I'm going to get back under my sleeping bag because it's cold out of that, with a little bit of wind over the beam. I just don't think I've got the angle to sail. Birry. Ahoy! You're not going to see me, but basically it's 2 a.m. I've been getting little 20-minute naps, but I need to stay up now because I've got a ship barreling down on me from behind, which you won't be able to see, and also one from in front. The one from behind was same course as me, directly behind me. So, and the one in front, I put 10 degrees in just to move out a little bit, which opened that one out, but then that put me in the path of another one, so I'm just doing basically 25 or I think it might be 30 degrees over now, coming back inshore, which will let this one overtake me on my port side and let the other one pass me on my port side. This one should be coming past in about 15 minutes and the next one in about 50 minutes. Plenty of time for corrections. There's quite a bit of fog out. I've still got reasonable visibility, it's just hazy, bloody cold. Yeah, but I've had some nice sleep. I just need to stay up for a little bit now. I was ready to get a bit of tired. I don't know if you'll make it out. Oh yeah, I think you can see the lights, but there's the big ship coming past me. It's hard to believe that's about half a mile away, doing 18 knots, something like that. It'll be gone and out of sight in no time. But now that's a beam of me, I can put 5 or 7 degrees in over to port, over to that side, and that will open up my CPA for Eleanor, which is coming towards me at 9 knots. And I'll take that down the starboard side. In order to take it in the port side, because we're quite close to the shore, we'll meet at a headland. I'd have to go right in tight to the headland, and there are areas of unsettled water there that I don't want to be in that race, basically. So I'll let them go through there. I'll head out a little bit. They won't be here for another hour, so I'll probably go down below and get 15 minutes and then come back up. Yeah, all fun and exciting. This is the joys of having... I'm glad I've got internet, because I have AIS overlay on the Orca, but it's over the internet because I've not got actual AIS. But it's super useful in these scenarios. Super useful. I'd love to get AIS next year, hopefully. We'll see. Dawn is breaking. I am absolutely surrounded. Excuse me. By tankers, drilling platforms, refueling platforms. Basically, every hazard you could possibly imagine, I'm currently surrounded by. Yeah, so I'm trying to dodge them, but a lot of them aren't even on the charts. Good thing is they don't move, so it should be easy to dodge them. Yeah, managed to get sleep on and off, which is nice. In fact, I'm going to go for another 20 minutes in a minute. See what the day brings. Probably tiredness. Right, we have some head sail out. Don't know if you see it. Oh shit. Yeah, I've just put a bit out, so I've still got good visibility underneath it. I'm probably undersailed. There is such a word, but I'm okay with that because the sea state's building a little bit like this. It'll look flat calm on the video, but it ain't. It's getting up to maybe 2 meters now, but it's quite close together. It's like 5 seconds or so, which is uncomfortable. But anyway, I've head sail out, main up, and the engine is just above tick over. I've gained half a knot by reducing the engine and reduced the engine speed, so I'm happy with that. One of the main reasons for getting the head sail up is now I can heave to if needs be, because I want to check the fuel level and possibly put some fuel in, which involves getting in there to check the fuel level, which involves removing this, which means I've got to stick my head in there without this and unable to use this, so you end up all over the place. So in this configuration I can just heave to, do that. Once I'm hove to, because I'm on this tack, that'll end up being the high side of the boat, which means no water will be coming over it, which means I can put the fuel in without risk of getting water over the side. Yeah, I have a tanker over yonder, which I cannot work out. I think he's at anchor. I can see anchor wash coming out of his hawser pipes, but I have no idea. I can't work out if he's on a constant bearing or I'm just going really slow, so it doesn't look like he's moving relative to me. I don't know, give it 5 minutes and see. I've still got my downward facing cone up, so for the coal rigs I need to act like a motor vessel, which means he's the stand-on vessel, which means I would turn to port, an obvious turn to starboard, an obvious turn to starboard, so that he is aware of my intentions, and then pass astern of him. However, looking at it now, thought something sounded weird. Looking at it now, he's going to pass astern of me. I can no longer see the side of his vessel, only the front aspect, so that means I must be moving around him. yeah, I just plod on like this, doing 6.5 to 7 knots. If I was to stop in Lowestoft, it'd take another 14 hours, 14.5 hours. That'd be a 10 PM arrival, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes, see what the fuel situation's like, see if the sea state calms down, see how tired I am. I mean, realistically, once this tank is gone, I could probably go down and see if we can get another half hour, and just keep doing that during the day. So we shall see. Are you recording? Yeah. All right. Excuse me. We are hove to. So basically, to heave to, you just tack through the wind, but don't do anything. Sheet your main in first. Tack through the wind. Don't do anything, and then once the foresail backwinds like that, you can shove the tiller to the other side, lash it down, and voila, we are hove to. So I'm going to dry off the fuel area now, and chuck some fuel in, and use the toilet while everything is nice and calm and comfortable. Well, that could have been a lot worse. Literally no fuel in it. The tank was full, that's at least 35 litres, and I've only been running for 20 hours. Oh no, maybe that's right. I was going to leave it for a bit as well, God. We'll check that again later. I think I might be going to Lowestoft for fuel. Yeah. Somebody just called the bloody Coast Guard. Just rang me up doing a welfare check because my safe tracks has been offline for a while. My shore contact, whoever that is, I've not got one. Unless it's oh, maybe Rich is still down, and maybe he got a message or something, because I'm basically 20 miles offshore, so I've got no phone reception. But yeah, Coast Guard just rang me up and asked me if I was alright. I'm like, yeah, sound. Fine. Yeah, they weren't annoyed about it, they were fine, so I suppose it's no harm, no foul, isn't it? It's been several hours, several uncomfortable hours. I'm about 20 miles offshore. Tide's turned against me now, so I've slowed down to 3-4 knots. Looks quite stable here, doesn't it? Look out that way. Oh, it looks dead stable there as well now. It's typical, isn't it? Anywho, I started feeling a bit queasy before. I thought, oh no, please, not now. But I think I was just a bit tired, and then I realised that I hadn't really eaten anything, so I just had something to eat and hydrated a bit, and feeling a lot better now. So yeah, all good. I think I might have really fucked up here. I don't think I've got the fuel to make it. There was supposed to be wind and there's not. It's supposed to be 15 knots on the beam and there's 4, 5. I just tried sailing and I was doing 0.8 knots. I'm looking at my fuel usage before. It's using more fuel, it's got to be. So I'm thinking sort of, I did 18 hours on 30 litres. Put another 30 litres in, that's another 18 hours. And then I've got 20 litre reserve. So that'll be 12 hours, would it? I might do. I don't know what I'm going to do here. See, you can get into Great Yarmouth, but you've got to go through a swing bridge and there's all sorts of restrictions, and it's £126 in the guide, unless that's for a week, but I can't risk that because I've got like 47 quid in the bank. I'm going to have to borrow money to fuel up. Hey, well, can't change anything now. We'll just have to sail at 1 knot if we have to sail at 1 knot, won't we? And reserve 5 litres for getting in. We'll figure it out one way or another. Want to try and avoid the big orange taxi. Now the friggin' engine's failed. Wait a minute, stay there. Oh, fucking hell. Pretty sure it's the impeller. I've got some sea room, I'm gonna go and check it. Christ, I don't need this. I really don't fucking need this. Oh. Fucking wanker. Can't close the seacock. Maybe it's too hot. Fuck my entire life, this is shit. And literally, we only did the seacock the other day. Alright, just a little quick interjection here to explain what's going on. On my sail drive leg is where the seacock is, the inlet, built into the sail drive leg. And that little blue thing you can see in my hand is a little handle type thing that goes on the end of a square piece of plastic on the top of the seacock, which is a gate valve. You put that on, turn it, seacock opens and closes. Could not for the life of me do it. I was trying to be gentle with it at first, and then I was just like, I need to close this seacock. Gave it everything I had. It just would not budge, and everything felt hot to the touch, which is worrying. So basically, I needed to change the impeller because I couldn't sail. So I elected to take a calculated risk, and I just took the faceplate off the impeller housing. And change the impeller with the water pissing in basically through the seacock and through the water pump, raw water pump. However, what I realised afterwards is that there wasn't that much water coming through, which is actually the source of a lot of my issues, which we'll get to in further videos. But yeah, that's what happened. I took the faceplate off, replaced the impeller with water coming into the boat, and managed to get it back on before we drowned, which is a little bit dramatic because it would have taken hours. But you know what I mean. So that's what's happening. Let's get back to it. Alright, I managed to do it with the seacock open. I got full of water, but it is what it is. Fucking hell, it's rough. There's the problem. There must be some underlying problem, but alright, discretion, best part of valour. I'm not going to Lowestoft. It was a further 80 miles. There's clearly an underlying problem with the engine, why it's burning impellers. And I don't want that to happen in the middle of the North Sea somewhere. So I've turned due west and I'm going to head for Grimsby, which is only about 5 hours away. I'm going to notify the Coast Guard of the situation on 6-7, just so that they're aware, and see if we can nurse the boat back. Hopefully this impeller lasts. If it doesn't, it'll be the big orange taxi, which I'm hesitant to do because those guys are probably having the fish supper or something. I don't want to drag them out. So yeah, I'm going to go and inform the Coast Guard of the situation, my intentions, and etc, etc. Yeah. From the Coast Guard, this is sailing vessel Jeannie Stewart. Jeannie Stewart, over.
Jeannie Stewart, this is from the Coast Guard.
From the Coast Guard, Jeannie Stewart, good afternoon, sir. Just for your information, I've suffered engine failure, and I've managed to get the engine running again, so I've decided to run for Grimsby and try and nurse the boat back. I don't require any assistance at this time. I just thought I'd let you know of the situation. Over.
Jeannie Stewart, this is from the Coast Guard. Roger, we're standing by on channel 16 if you require any assistance.
Channel 16, thank you very much. Jeannie Stewart out. Well, that wasn't very helpful. I was wondering if he'd ask for my position or anything, but hey, well. Actually, the Coast Guard called me back, sent me to 6-7, and had the conversation that I expected. I forgot to take the camera though. So they're aware of my position, my ETA, and they want me to check in every 60 minutes. Yeah, touch wood, hopefully it will be fine. It'd be nice to get some internet signal. Get away from these wind farms. At the minute, they're to leeward, so you know, if it does go tits, I may be able to sail, but there's very little wind. If not, I'll have to try and dodge between those bad boys. That'll be exciting for us, won't it? Ladies and gentlemen. Right, yeah, that's that. Is what it is. It looks like I'm going to Grimsby, and I may be there a few days while I troubleshoot this engine. I'm gonna have to borrow some money from somewhere, but that's that. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I need to go and read up in the almanac about Grimsby, find out what's going on. I had a little read of it and got an idea on Visit My Harbour, which if you're in the UK is fantastic. Go to visitmyharbour.something. It tells you all the information on the harbours. Yeah, so I've sort of got a basic knowledge of Grimsby. I think the lock will be open in free flow when I get there, hopefully. So yeah, I might just be able to drive straight through, assuming I've still got an engine. We will see. Alright, there is a drilling platform there. It's an uncharted one, it's a mobile one. I didn't realise it had a half-mile exclusion zone, so I was busy on the radios. I got a bit close, and the nice gentleman off one of the control ship things radioed me. We had a little chat, and he's like, if you could go a half-mile south of the rig, it'll stop people pulling their hair out. I'm like, yeah, no worries. So I just came dead south, but that put me right near these wind farms, which is good, isn't it? Honestly, they must be efficient, because I've got no wind here. I mean, is it even blowing my hair? No, it's probably greasy though, isn't it? Yeah, and they're spinning. So yeah, I've come even a bit more further south than I was going to do, because of this big bar steward coming in as well. So yeah, it's keeping things interesting. Just had a little look at Grimsby. Big TSS around there, so I've got to try and stay out of the way of that. And hopefully the lock will still be in free flow. 10 more minutes. I need to update the Coast Guard. I don't want to over rev the engine. What I think has happened is, I think the sail drive leg has ingested something. There's been a load of shite in the water, and it's blocking the seacock partially, which is preventing enough water from getting to the impeller, which is burning out the impeller. That's my theory, because there's no excuse for that seacock not to be operational. Literally 2 weeks ago, I I did it. But it's all very hot back there. Like, the gearbox is worryingly hot. It's got oil in it, or it did have a few weeks ago. Oh, we'll see what happens. Let's get me into Grimsby at night in a massive shipping port that I've never been to and wasn't prepared for, with a dodgy engine. Sailing's fun, isn't it? Oh well, we'll see how it goes. This just keeps getting better and better. Went to call the Coast Guard, no response. Then they started calling me and not transmitting. It's saying transmit on the radio, but clearly they can't hear me. So I came out with the little radio too far away. Luckily this awesome people on Grimsby or whatever it's called were going past the stern of me, so I called them up and got them to relay the message, which was interesting because English wasn't his first language, but the lad did really well. Yeah, fantastic. So I managed to get my position and everything across. It was frustrating because I could hear them both talking on 6-7, so like once he asked them for the information, then he said, yeah, I'll get it. Then I just called him I just called him up and said, yeah, I'm here, I'll tell you. So the Coast Guard could clearly hear his half of my conversation as well. Oh man, fucking things we do for boats, eh? So that's another thing now, no radio. That's super useful. Maybe it's just an issue with the switch in the mic. I don't know, that's fucking job for tomorrow, along with everything else. Don't be dejected, you're living your dream. Somebody's dream. Did I mention the VHR? I think I mentioned the VHR. It's not the push to talk, it's the aerial, and quite obviously see that it's broken now. Above the hawk at the top of the mast you won't be able to see it, but it's wobbling from side to side in the swell. I imagine the constant swells of the North Sea have just caused metal fatigue and snapped it, and I'm receiving but not transmitting. Luckily just managed to get hold of the Coast Guard on the handheld, so I'm close enough in now. I couldn't give him a proper position though. Actually, so I gave him a position relative to a buoy that's out there, and I gave him the position and he's like, could I have a lot long? I'm like, well no, because the radio's duff and I can't go below because you won't hear me. Turns out I said that I was west of the marker buoy, not east. I'm used to being on the other side of the country. So according to my estimate, I'm onshore. That would be a bad day. But yeah, the wind for some strange reason is out of the north when it's completely not supposed to be. So it's right on the beam still, but it's not too much of it. Got to decide when to get the main down, because if the engine goes, that's my only chance of doing anything apart from drifting. I can dump the anchor sort of thing. I'm in shallowish water, but yeah, we shall see. Maybe I'll drop it once I get in the river. I don't know. We'll just play all this crap by ear. I'm making it up as I go along, aren't I? Ugh. If I had a lot of snot on my beard, then I've not. Right. 3.5 hours to go. I'll be having a pint tonight. So I'm just going to creep up the side of the TSS now. If you look at the distance between the course and the heading, I've got 25 to 30 degrees of cross tide. So I'm pointing that away, but I'm going that away. So I'll just have to monitor it, because it'll probably die down as I get further into the estuary, and I'll just have to keep manipulating it. Just had some very, very sad news. It's not really for the public's forum, but sort of, you know, it's easy for me to sit and whinge about, oh, this is going wrong and that's going wrong, but now wouldn't be the time for it. Yeah, I think take every day as a gift is all I'll say about it. Yeah, very sad, but get ashore and have a pint, make some phone calls. Yeah, that's the next task. After I get the main down, get some fenders out, hope that the lock's still open, try and get through. But yeah, we keep going. Alright, we're into the River Humber in fog, so you can't see anything. It's a bit of an entrance, but I'm staying out of most of it, just doing my homework. I've spoken to VTS, that's all good. As I say, I'm limited to handheld now. On 14, I need to switch to 12 after I get a bit further in. Do that and then speak to the locks, and hopefully they'll let me in. And then hopefully the marina will have space for me. I've not been able to contact anybody because, well, I've still not got signal on my phone. It comes in and comes out, so.
That's received, thank you. And we also have orders for your vessel. Pilot boarding time on the 22nd of September will be 0745. 0745 at Papa Bravo 2.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah, I've not been able to ring them. I get phone service and then it's gone in 10 seconds. Usually when I'm trying to Google something. Talk to you in a bit. This isn't terrifying at all. Yeah. Super reliant on Orca now. And if that goes, I am screwed. So yeah, it's been pretty so far. Let's go. Cool. Still got a lot of swelling here, which I'm then punching through. But it's being illuminated by the nav lights, which is pretty funky. Let's try to get it on film. I don't know whether I did. I'll probably just see you when I get to the dock. I can't bother. I don't have time to go down below and get the covered and stuff like that. So. Yeah. Stressful after you've been on the road for 36 hours. But it is what it is. We'll get there. Alright, I am in Grimsby. It's horrible coming in, absolutely horrible. It seemed to take 5 hours to get up the River Humber, but obviously it wasn't 5 hours, it just felt like that. Yeah, so luckily the lock was in free flow. I came into the marina, there's no space on the visitors' moorings. Down the bottom end is a tiny little, I shouldn't have even tried it, a tiny little finger berth. And I thought, I just needed somewhere to sleep, so I was like, just maybe. And I actually went into it, and it's in a corner, and the end of the finger wasn't even up to my midship cleat, so I'm like, fuck, no, I can't. So, and then I suddenly realised that I'm in this tiny corner at the bottom of the marina over there, with the wind blowing me down, and I'm in the corner. And then I've got to try and reverse out against my prop walk, surrounded by boats, and I did what is probably my best minute and a half of boat handling that I've ever done, and got out. It was a dream. Naturally the cameras wasn't on, and I don't know how, because I could barely keep my eyes open. Well, that wasn't too bad. Phone's gone off, and quelle surprise. Yeah, so a bit of YouTube muckaboutery. It's not actually that night, it's the following night now. I've spent literally all day getting into Hull to buy a couple of spare impellers, so I've got one new one in and two spare. I'm about to go and fix the boat now, hopefully, and leave in the morning. So it could be a late night fixing the boat, but we will see. Yeah, that's it for now. Auf Wiedersehen. Yeah, so that's it for this video. It's a little bit of a long one, but to be fair, it was a 38-hour trip, so you know there's a fair bit of video there. Yeah, I fixed the boat. Well, I thought I'd fixed the boat. I didn't actually get to the underlying problem, which reared its ugly head again, which you'll see in another 4 or 5 episodes, where the engine died good and proper, to the point where I couldn't actually start it again, and had to be rescued. But that's a story for another time, in probably 4 or 5 weeks for you guys, something like that. So yeah, that's what happened. But the boat was back on the water, and the following day I was back at sea. The trouble that I had at the marina, which I don't think I mentioned, is that I arrived there on a Friday, I think it was, or a Thursday, and the marina was getting dredged on the Monday, so they had to move all the boats out of the marina by Monday, which meant I couldn't spend any more than a day there. So yeah, I had to sort of 2 buses. I think it was a total of 7 or 8 hours. So 2 buses there, 2 buses back, to get into Hull and get to the nearest chandlery. So that was that. This was this. This was this week. Like, comment, subscribe, and YouTube stuff, innit? See you next week.